Hi everyone, so today we're gonna do Alpha 6 Corp review. I bought this set of 25 paint markers and it came in this really nice case, and the markers, they look really good. The quality of the markers look good, so I can't wait to try these out in this video. So let's get into this review, and I'm gonna be testing them out on canvas. There's gonna be a part 1. I'll work on a part 2, trying them on paper because they're different surfaces and different textures, but I really wanted to give these a try on canvas before I did anything, because I like to paint on canvas. So here's this nice blue. It's really drawing me to this set is their colors. I like bright colors, so hopefully the colors match the caps, because when you're buying paint or you're buying markers, your first impressions are the caps and the colors matching. So let's get 6 pumps in here, see how fast the nib gets saturated. And I did 6 pumps, and as you can see, it's a clear, the front of the marker is clear, and you can see it saturates real nice within seconds, you know. So that's a fluid paint right there. Really good. Let's try another curler out. I had to speed this one up because I actually thought it wasn't coming out, but it's the cream color, it's the same color as the nib, and it was the same thing. 6 pumps, under 20 seconds. So I grabbed the red so you guys can get a better look at that as well. The bottom of the marker is clear, so you can see as soon as you do a pump, the paint just starts to flow. I sped this one up as well, but it's 20 seconds, and there you go. Comes out real fluid. Really like it. Let's take a look at the nib. On their website, it says the nib lasts a long time. It's really good quality. I'll do a part on the part 2. I'll test it on wood, see what happens. But they go to the inside of the marker, and the nib has like an extra piece in the end, like a little taper, and that's probably to prevent, you know, the ink from gushing out. A lot of ink, you know, paint, tomato. A lot of other companies, when you pump the nib, all the paint comes gushing out. Maybe that prevents that. So there goes some rewind action for you. So let's test out this canvas. We're gonna scratch up the markers, do everything onto it, and see how it performs. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. Tons of videos coming. So I'm going to be drawing one of my original characters here, one of my original F characters. It's a letter F that I evolve into characters. Check out my IG. I got tons of pictures. I'm going to be posting some digital work here so you get a better understanding of my work, my original work. I do digital work, traditional work, comic book work, all kinds of work, portrait paintings, everything. But I love my original style, as you can see here, and you can see more of it on my Instagram, and as well on this Facebook page. I got playlists of my original work, and I'm just gonna style out this character. I'm gonna do my letter F, and then I'm gonna just do a face, and then I'm gonna do like a collage of a bunch of other Fs and see where it goes. So I'm using the black right now. It's really nice, moves freely. And remember, this canvas is textured, and I also use iron lac matte spray paint. So, you know, it's all these different textures. And I can say throughout the video, the nibs held up well. So I'm coming here with the blue, and I'm running it over the black. And I'm coming in here with a lighter color as well. I'm trying to test out all these different colors, guys. And what I've noticed is that while I'm running the light colors over the dark colors, I'm not having any bleed throughs. So those are the colors that I really want to test out, like the greens. I'm not a fan of greens and the reds, so I want to see how they're looking. And so far, this green is looking nice, guys. It's like a lime green, and as you can see, I have like this magenta color. It's like a mix between purplish and red, and that green is holding down really well. And here I'm coming in with the yellow. I'm not a fan of the yellow, but this yellow is like really bright. It looks really good. So my first impressions are like, oh yeah, I'm excited. The pink is supposed to be a hot pink. The top of the marker has like a hot pink color, but it went down like a light pink. And it's maybe because of the color that I have of the spray paint. So I switched the angle here because my lighting's better here, but as you can see, my hand gets in the way. So I'm gonna work on my lighting here in my office. So I'm going to be switching back and forth throughout this video. But yeah, the lighting looks better here, and you don't get, I noticed that these markers have a sheen to them. So you don't really see the sheen on this side, but my hand gets in the way. So now you're going to see when I start putting down the lime green, you're going to start to see the sheen. So when these markers, when the ink or the paint dries, it has like a sheen to them. They don't have a matte finish. So that's a good thing. And as you can see, I'm just coming in on my first pass, and it's saturating the canvas really nice. That's why I say I'm going to make a part 2 on paper, because paper absorbs the paint, whereas the canvas, it doesn't really absorb, it just lays on top. That's the reason why it looks the way it does. It looks really nice and bright. But on part 2, I'm going to test it out on paper and watercolor paper and see how it does. And see if I'm going to have to do more than 2 passes. So here I'm coming in my second pass, and you see the greens popping. Now the yellows popping. It's really, really bright. So I'm really excited because I'm not a fan of the bright colors. And here, look, I hit the pink over the black, and the nib is not even dirty. So that means that once the color dries, they don't mix. So that's a good thing. You know, using a light color like pink over black, a lot of other paint markers that I use, like the colors bleed. I don't want to make a comparison in this video, but it's hard not to compare the markers, guys. As you can see there, look, it was dark color black, and then I went over with the pink, and it covered it pretty well. And I didn't have any bleeding of the nibs, where like the nib gets dirty and you gotta try to like clean it off. So that's, so far, first impressions is looking good on there. Now I'm coming in with the purple, one of my favorite colors, and it's going in really well. One pass so far, looks good. I'm gonna wait till it dries. I'm coming in with the white right here. Wait till that dries, see how it performs. So it took me about 2 hours to do this canvas. So, you know, I'm speeding it up. You know, it's a lot of the paint's dried up. And as you can see, it's looking really nice, right, really bright. So I'm coming in with the blue now and doing the touch-ups. I move my camera again to my backside. That's where the lighting in my office comes in from the window. I like that lighting. I'm working on moving my desk, as I mentioned before. I'm working on the lighting. But when I'm coming in with this blue, I'm noticing how it has a sheen, the paint once it dries. It looks really cool. The only markers that I've known that have done that were like the Sharpies. When they dry, has like the sheen. Because the Posca markers and the Multilau, they dry with like a matte. So I'm gonna come in here with the black, build up my bold lines and outside of my character. Start building up all these lines, make my character pop even more. And the yellow and the green, yeah, I'm not a fan of yellows and greens, but I'm really a fan of this green. It's like a lime green, and that yellow is really bright. So here, I came in with a green on the purple, and the colors really clash. But the reason why I did that, because I want to test all these colors out. And I was like, let me test out this green, because I'm not a fan of this dark green. But when I opened up the marker and I start, you know, to saturate that nib, I'm like, man, this green looks really nice. And as you can see, it's a really bright green. Like, it's not this dark green, it's like a nice bright green. So I'm going to be using that lime green and this green together. But yeah, my character doesn't stand out too much. You know, if I would have had a black background or even that beige as my outline, it would look real cool. Not so much with the green, but yeah, I had to test these markers out. And so far, they're looking pretty good. So coming in here with the pink, touching up these areas. And as you can see, that pink saturated really well. I don't have any issues with the markers bleeding once they're dry. And then having like the dirty nibs. So it's pretty good. Coming back here with the white, just doing some like second passes. And all the colors are really popping. So I don't know. I would say a sheen or a gloss. They're not gloss. They don't dry gloss. They have like a nice sheen though. So I'm coming in here, fading it out, trying that out with my finger. I do that a lot while it's still wet. Pretty good. So I'm coming here with the green as well and try that fade out with my finger. That is also doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. It looks good. So I'm going to touch up those areas with that purple. Yes. I'm impressed, guys. The colors are looking good. I like it. But let's test out the clear coat. This is the end result right here. A lot of times when I finish my piece step, I hit it with a clear coat just to protect it. But a lot of other brands of paint markers that I've used, they actually, the paint starts to bleed through. And I want to see if it does it with these. If it does, then, I mean, this doesn't need a clear coat because it has a sheen. It looks really nice, as you can see. So you don't need to put a clear coat, but I'm going to test it out anyway. And if something happens, then I won't be using clear coat on when I use these markers. So get ready for it. And the colors change, or you know, they bleed. You know, it's not a good thing, but let's see. So I got 3 clear coats. I use all these. So let's try the matte, because it has like a sheen to it. Let's see the matte, see what it does. Get a cap. So remember guys, spray from a distance. Don't get too close because then you have issues. Just mist it on. I let it dry and it has a matte look, which is cool, but I don't know if you guys can tell. The paint, the clear coat actually damaged the paint. I don't know, there's some clear coats, guys, and some paint markers where it doesn't bind together. And you can see like the paint, the marker strokes. We didn't have that issue before. So what happens is the clear coat, like, it melts the paint. It doesn't bind together correctly. See, remember I had a nice fade here. See, look at the purple. Look at the blue. See, and that's not a fault of the marker. The marker was good. You just can't clear coat it. Not that you have to clear coat it. It had a sheen, but I like to have the extra protectant on my canvases in case you want to wipe them down. But as you can see, this is not a fault of the marker. This is just, you're not supposed to be blending these things together. There are other paint markers that you can do that with. I'm not gonna do a comparison in this video because I don't want to take away from the marker. But other than that, the markers, you know, they were cool. It's just now the whole piece is matte, but the clear coat damaged it. Right? It doesn't mean nothing. It still looks good. Now I'm gonna continue doing what I was gonna do with it, and I'm gonna throw some of my abstract lines, as you can see here.